So
religious visas. No. We discussed religious visas.
Yeah.
We want to discuss protesting.
Yeah. What do you think of a group of young people protesting something that they see as being evil?
Yeah. Well, of course, my answer to that is not only do I think it's right, but I think it's their duty,
their civic duty,
their civic duty, and with the one step further, they should not be reluctant to pull together their resources, pull together their information, and at times report this, so that there's an audit trail, so that later on the Bureau may not pick up on it, but then 2 years from now they go back and they go, holy mackerel, we've got a terrific audit trail here. Mm-hmm. We've got cases here where, we were looking at embezzlement here, this didn't seem right, and all of a sudden you find out there's a tax scam in D.C., and this woman took $20 million, but they go, oh my God, but they started back in 1994.
Right.
This person came and complained, this person came and complained. So they take that, and they put it all together, and they go, ha-ha.
They build a case.
They build a case. So it's not a waste if they go and the next day they don't see FBI opens case against Scientology.
Courtney, tell me one thing. How can I, ex-access agent of the Central Intelligence Agency, can help these kids to do right thing?
Well, it sounds to me, Boris, from what you've told me, that you've already provided a lot of help in terms of some direction. And when I say direction, I mean orderly direction. Anytime any group, regardless of whether it's an anti-war movement or anti-religious movement or a pro-abortion movement or just anything under the sun, that they can pull upon someone who's had some experience and someone who's been there. And I think the important thing that the group probably can glean, from a CIA fag like you or an FBI fag like me, is to understand that
that was good.
We need to that protesting is not only important, I think it's a right, and I think it's not a waste of time. And the fact that you've been able to give them direction in terms of doing it in such a way that they respect the laws. And sometimes they may feel, well, that's kind of frustrating, because what did we really accomplish? We traveled this distance, we've come here, we haven't broken any laws, but who's really paid much attention? I didn't see it on the nightly news, I didn't see it the next day in the newspaper. That's true, but it has a cumulative effect.
Sure.
And if the group, if there's one thing that I could try to encourage Anonymous, and that is to pool the resources when they have situations where they can legitimately say, look, there's been some wrong, there's been behavior here, laws broken here, surveillance, tags, but something really that has gone wrong, that they tabulate it and that they go to the FBI office. They ask to see an agent because they have a complaint they'd like to make. They go in, trying as unemotional as possible. They try to get the facts. This is what I've come up with. This is what we've experienced. We want to be on record.
Right.
This is the purpose for our doing this. We're trying to do this as a citizen, and we're not asking you for what you plan to do about it, whether you plan to open a case, and just we want to be able to use you as a repository for this information. Because what happens is that over time, and I've seen this over and over and over again, when the time comes that they go too far, in this particular case Scientologists go too far, they begin to look at it and say, okay, maybe there's some problems here with interstate problems, maybe there's some conspiracy, maybe there's some major financial problems, money laundering, and as they look into it, they go out and they go out to the 56 offices around the country.
Courtney,
and
would
what
you,
they do is they go to those
Yeah.
56 and they say, tell us what you've heard. So if over the years they've been reporting this, those offices report back. They
Right.
have an audit trail, Boris, of gee, this happened here, this happened here. And as they look at it as a total, they take the totality of circumstances and they can build, what they think is a real compelling
right.
case.
Would you
against
go as
them.
far as saying that a citizen's duty is to inform the authorities of anything that smells with criminal offense, with espionage, with terrorism, with anything that is against the interest of this country?
Oh, absolutely. And the only thing that is difficult is that what is that fine line? In other words, what you see and I see as looking at something suspicious because of our backgrounds probably may have more merit than someone who doesn't have that kind of experience and says, well, I took 3 left turns off Main Street and this red Chevy was following me.
Right.
So you go to the FBI office and say there was a red Chevy that followed me for 3 lights.
Right.
And I didn't get the tag number. But I suggest to you that they're after me for some reason. Well, the first question the agent's going to ask is, well, why would they be after you? Well, unless you, in fact, actually are in the witness protection program, or unless actually you have some compelling reasons to be that way, it's going to be brushed off. So it's not to say that they shouldn't go forward, but what they need to do is they need to look upon that as, what about the red Chevy and the fact that maybe a pet was killed, the fact that I've had someone come to my door and threaten me with a cease and desist, and you take the totality of those things, then you say, you know something, Boris, I think I'm going to go ahead and maybe write these things down, tabulate them, go in and say, look, these are the facts. I can't tell you exactly who it was, but these are things that I think you should know about.
Yes, but in totality of this idea of anonymous, I think they are right and obligated as citizens of this country and many other countries that will watch this video, is to be a guardian of their country, of their rights, of their constitution, of their law, and they should inform the authorities about anything that crosses the line. That is, so we are all practically intelligence operatives.
I totally agree with you. If you could now, since 9/11, you're no longer allowed to enter into what we refer to as the bowels of the FBI headquarters on 9th and Pennsylvania Avenue. But it used to be up until 9/11 that you could go inside, and there was a fountain inside. And on the walls, Hoover had a statement that he had came out with in the 1930s, and I don't recall exactly what it was, but essentially what it was saying was that without the public's help, our job would be non-existent. And it seems sort of
It is a quintessence of
yes, yeah. It's almost prima facie. It's what it is. Of course, that's true. But in fact, the matter is, this is exactly what you're saying, and my response to that
so we are all sentinels
is that, yes,
of this
everyone should be a sentinel. Everyone should do it. And by the way, it's important to know that Anonymous can go in and make and make a statement and give information and say, I don't want my name brought up.
Very good.
I want to be kept confidential. And that is very, very, very carefully maintained.